This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Shall we start now, or shall we wait for 3 to 5 minutes for other people to join? Uh, like for shall we wait for some time or shall we start? Yes, no. Okay. So we will wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Let the other people join as well. Okay. So in 3 minutes we'll start. Hello. Yeah. So maybe we will start now. Uh, so last week we spoke about a project. Is it right? If I'm not wrong, e-bikes. Yeah. So last week we spoke about e-bikes. So this week we will try to cover up a few just test classes for lightning components, and yeah, we'll try to observe the dream invest as well. So there's another project called dream invest, so how the code was written and all, so we'll try to observe about dream invest. Hmm, okay, so let's start with just test classes. So but let's observe the code. How to write a test class for wired services. Okay, test class in sense it's not Apex classes, so they are JavaScript test classes. Fine. Huh. So Apex wired property. So maybe there might be few contacts in our database. So using wired service, we are pulling those records and we are displaying here. So this is the behavior of this component. So how to write a test class instance? We might have created a just a moment. See LWC recipes, force app, main, default, LWC. So what was the component name? Apex wire method to property. So yeah, yeah. So this is the component. So HTML page, JavaScript, and config file. Let's go to test. Here you can observe like data. Fine. So instead of calling the Salesforce, because wired service at wire, okay, it will hit the test class, it will put the data, right? So our test class is mocked, is bluffed in such a way that you are pulling the data from local folder. So you are pulling the data from local folder. Mm, yeah. So we are pulling the data from local folder. Fine. So अब एक बार टेस्ट क्लास देखेंगे कि how it is. Click on view source. Okay, so then test, then this one. Huh. So first of all, we are pulling create element to create a HTML tag and to put it in a virtual DOM. Fine, JS DOM, virtual DOM. Fine. Then we are pulling the actual component. Okay, actual lightning component. Fine. So then we are pulling register apex test wire adapter. Okay, so it is used for mocking the wire service. Okay, it is used for mocking the wire service. Okay, so you will get to know. You'll get to know. Then get contact list. Get contact list contains the return type, the list of contacts of this Apex class. We have the Apex class for contact controller. इसमें एक method है. It will be returning the list of contacts. Those list of contacts will be dumped into this get contacts. So whenever you refer this get contacts, you will be like pointing to Apex class. But in our test class, we don't want this get contact to point to Apex class. So that's the reason we are using this adapter to create a mock function. Okay, to create a mock function which actually doesn't hit the Apex class, which in turn hit our local file, local JSON file. Just a moment. So to hit the local file. So this is our local file. Right. So the same ID, everything is the same. Fine. So we have to prepare this local file. Like the response, I mean, it was written in such a way that when we actually hit the Apex class, the response will be in the same pattern. Fine. So the response will be in the same pattern. Fine. So now you are pulling that data here. So whenever you write require dot data dash, so that JSON file you are pulling into this test class. Right. So ये line थोड़ा important है. So this line. So you are creating a mock function. I mean get contact list, which is supposed to have the return type of list of all contacts. You are just mocking it in such a way that it's a dummy, it's a photocopy kind of thing. Okay, so get contact list adapter by using this register test wire adapter function of lwc-jest module. Function of lwc-jest module. Okay. So here the key point is, okay, we know that describe after each and every test, clean the HTML page, clean the virtual DOM. I mean, it's not actually HTML, it's a virtual page. So clean the JS DOM. So you are using a while loop, you are picking up the first element each time, you are just removing the child. Okay. So as I said earlier, describe whenever you can enclose multiple test cases inside one describe call. Okay. So whenever you place a tag, HTML tag into this JS DOM, it's our responsibility, or it's a best practice actually. So for each test suite, we can call it as test suite. Okay. So describe call is basically describe function is used to bundle up multiple test cases, and we can consider a describe as a one test suite. And हर एक test suite होने के बाद, it's best practice ना to clear the whole HTML page. So that's the reason we are just after each describe call you are clearing it. Okay. So just dot clear all mocks. Okay. So if a mocks this is basically a mock function. Fine. You are just mocking, you are just cloning, you are just duplicating the sample copy of get contact list this way. So you are clearing all the mocks. Okay. You are clearing the implementation of all the mocks. So initially after each, अगर कुछ है तो भी mocks पूरा mocks clear कर लेना. Fine. Then yeah, so this is our first call. Okay, so get contact list via data. So इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि render 6 records. It stands for one test case. You can use a test or it, both are same keywords. Okay, so test keyword alias is it. Fine. So create initial element. So this create element which you have borrowed from, which you have imported from LWC module, is used to create a tag with this name, and the LWC component that has to be used to create this tag is this one. Fine. So by this way you are creating HTML element or a tag, then you are appending, you are dumping this tag into your document, into your HTML document. It's a kind of JS DOM. Okay, so into your DOM. Fine. Then now as soon as you place your lightning web component into the page, like this page, if you reload it, your test class is placing the component in some virtual DOM. Okay, the DOM that is not visible. Okay, you can just access it, that's it. It cannot be like we can't open it in your browser. Fine. So this data is retrieved, right? Ye data again na? So you are using emit function here. Okay, so get contact adapter dot emit. In the sense, we are just telling the node compiler that okay, so we are just telling the node JavaScript runtime environment that we have something called get contact list adapter, which is the cloned copy of actual adapter, but don't pull the data from the Salesforce, just pull the data from the local folder. Just emit in says pull the data from local folder. Yeah, get mock list kahan se aa rahe? So you are getting it from the local folder. Fine. So dot data, ये JSON से data निकाल के bluff it in such a way that you are getting from Apex. Fine. So then that data will be rendered into your component. Then you are waiting for some time. Okay. Promise dot resolve dot then. Why? Because ये सब asynchronous updates है ना. You until unless like asynchronous updates are done, you are waiting for some time. Okay. So the page is partially refreshed. This part of page. So here until it is completely refreshed, you are waiting for some time. Then So promise dot resolve dot then you are pulling, you are retrieving the HTML tag with paragraph. Wherever there is paragraph, like these three guys, these three Michael John Gupta and this guy. So these three guys were placed in a paragraph tags. Okay, the markup for these three guys, they were placed in paragraph tags. So that's the reason in a for loop, okay, three times it is iterated because we have three contexts. So you are using query all. You are querying all the items which are in paragraph tags. Then each item you are checking it. It is like system.asset equal ki tarah. So expect dot to be. Okay. So detail dot length instance. What is the length? Okay, 3 equal to 3 ऐसा आ जाएगा. Fine. So then element dot test content. So what is the name as a, like we are just checking key for the first element. What is the first text content and हमारा, yeah. So we are just checking from our local folder. Fine. Get mock list is our local folder. Local folder में JSON file. Fine. So this way, this is the procedure. Yeah, this is the procedure we have to write the test class while dealing with wire service. Fine. So next test case may get contact list. So for example, there is no contact in our Salesforce. Then how does it behaves? So for the exactly almost same, you are creating an empty JSON. अगर कुछ भी contact नहीं तो वो test case भी cover करना है ना. You are creating an empty JSON. Then exactly we are repeating almost everything and we are checking ki error message is thrown or not. So here you can see create a tag, add the tag to HTML page, get list dot error. You are emitting an error. Okay, you are emitting purposefully. You are emitting an error from wire service. अगर कुछ server down है something fine. So then you are waiting for the error to be thrown. Let the asynchronous update happens. Okay. Then element dot shadow root. As I said earlier, so lightning components internal markup is not the direct DOM tree में नहीं रहता है. It will be available in shadow root. Fine. So element dot shadow root dot query editor. You are querying the ये वाला C panel. So you can observe it here. So this is the markup. अगर कुछ error है तो C panel में कुछ there will be something written. Purposefully you are giving the data, purposefully you are emitting it, purposefully you are generating the error, then you are querying this HTML tag and you are asserting it expert dot not to be null. अगर इसमें कुछ error message तो रहना चाहिए. Fine, kind of. So yeah, this is how you'll be testing the wired service. Fine. So in the similar way, as of today, we will try to complete all these wired service. Then we will see a few projects ka demo. Fine. So today's agenda will be we'll be completing all these wired service. एक बार we'll observe all the 6 components test classes. Then yeah, if possible, we'll do data service as well. Okay. So we are discussing this one Apex wired method to function. So instead of calling a property, what if we call a function? Okay. So what if we call a function? Close these things. Click here again. इसका behavior, let's so you are wiring not to a variable, you are wiring to a function. Okay. That's the only change. So the test class will also be very much similar. Let's go to test. So we have two things: get record, no record, everything is same. So slight change will be there. Okay, so actually no change here. So it is same as like get adapter list, emit, get mock list controller. Okay, so you are emitting a wide service. Yeah, not much of change. Okay, so everything is same. So everything is same. Then yeah, so that's about the second component. Then imperative call. So click on view, go to test. Let's observe the markup. So imperative call में for these two guys, once you load them at the time of loading, data will be brought. Imperative call में on demand. So whenever you click a button, then JavaScript class will hit the Apex class and pull the data. Fine. So that's the difference. Huh. So imperative call में yeah, this is how it returns a promise. So you're just there is a rule that this name and this name both have to be same in imperative call. Fine. So it returns a promise. It is yeah. Then so all these things, I guess, promises, all those things, I think we have discussed very clearly in the classes. Okay, before so in the earlier classes. Mm, yeah. So this is the test class for imperative call. So you are writing mocking an imperative Apex method. Okay. So just dot mock. So you are mocking this class. Okay. So yeah, you have to return one function. Okay, so the default value अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ तो अगर कुछ error हुआ तो you are just returning just dot function. Right? So you're just returning the just dot function. So ये syntax है. Okay, you just need to like follow this for mocking the for making the imperative call. Fine. इसके बाद you have sample data for imperative call. Then what is the data that is available here? Click here, click here. Okay, so instead of having a JSON file, so they just had it here itself. Okay, instead of having a JSON file, so though record ka sample written data, I mean the response they have written it here itself. Okay. So sample data for imperative call, then again sample data for error message. एक बार देखेंगे इसमें कि क्या है like what it is. So this part is quite common for everyone. Then flush promises. So to discuss about this flush promises, it's a helper function. Very important. First sir, थोड़ा ध्यान देना. Yeah, this is a helper function. Custom function. We have written it. Flush promises in the sense it is returning a new promise. We are actually resolving everything. Set immediate of resolve. अगर कुछ भी promise है तो in the micro task queue everything will be अब तक in the micro task queue in the JavaScript execution cycle whatever the promises that are there till now in the pending state or kuch bhi. So we are going to like clear everything in the sense all those promises will be concluded. It's not like deleting, all those promises will be concluded, right? So okay, Srikan, please help us to understand this. What is this micro task queue? You might ask me what is this micro task queue. So इसके लिए we need to know some 5-minute story, some background stories there for that micro task queue. Just give me 1 minute. So it is pure JavaScript internal execution lifecycle. So on day 1, while teaching modern JavaScript, I said like JavaScript code doesn't execute line by line, but we have something called call stack where each piece of line, each code, okay, each statement will be placed in that call stack, and it tries to execute each statement. Fine. So whenever we find those asynchronous calls, or whenever we find like set timeout for 2 seconds. Okay, JavaScript code doesn't execute line by line. Set timeout for 2 seconds. Okay, so then wo wala delayed actions will be processed to web APIs. Then web APIs say it will be evaluated, it will be placed in task queue. Then task queue it doesn't directly communicate with call stack. So whenever call stack may, all the synchronous statements are executed, all the immediate statements are executed. The calls which take more time, or the calls which are executed asynchronously, or the calls for which third party API calls, where we can never guess when we will get the response. So us tarah ki statements will be passed to this task queue. Then from then, once the call stack is free, once all the synchronous statements are done, so we will be placing an event loop. Then event loop will gradually place each of the asynchronous lines into the call stack. पूरा synchronous होने के बाद, yeah, then this call stack में each asynchronous line will be executed or evaluated. Right. So this is the JavaScript code execution lifecycle. So in the event loop, where these asynchronous things are processed, internally it is broken up into internal operation of event loop. Let us observe now to understand that flush promises. Internal operation of, let us observe now. This one. Yes, these help links I will update in the notice board folder of our LWC drive link. Alt tab, Control V, hit on enter. Yeah. So this is what we call as event loop, start of event loop. So whenever there is asynchronous thing or anything that is delayed, okay, whenever there is some entity in the event loop, so it will first check for expired timer, interval queue, set timeout. Okay, so इसमें एक procedure है. First, all the ticks will be executed. Then all the promises will be executed. Then all the timers will be executed. Then set immediates will be executed. Okay, as of now we have a very good understanding on promises. एक example code देखेंगे, then you'll have a clarity. Not verbal thing. So let's consider the following example. Here you can see. So promise dot resolve dot then. So if the promise is resolved, then promise 1 is resolved. We are printing it. In a similar way, promise 2 is resolved. Then obviously promise 3. So process dot next tick. So ये सब are internal APIs, like they are inbuilt functions of JavaScript. Fine. So there are few other siblings similar to promises which were given some priority. So here you can observe it, next tick. Fine. So next tick queue, micro task queue. We have two queues here. Next tick queue, micro task queue. First of all, next tick queue will be executed. ये पूरा next queue, let's say you have some 18 lines of JavaScript code. Wherever you find, okay, so wherever you find this next tick, those guys will be given some more priority. उसके बाद promises will be executed. At the end, once these things are done, just before closing the loop, set immediate things are executed. Fine. So set immediate things are executed. So एक बार just observe this. Like first 2-3 statements are related to promises. Actually, yeah, first 5 statements are related to promises. Then 9 and 10 are related to set immediate functions. Then 12, 13, 14 are related to next tick. Then yeah, finally again set immediate. So if you print it, if you execute that, as I said, JavaScript doesn't execute line by line. If you execute it, the output will be irrespective of the location of this tick. So all the time. So line number 12 will be executed first, then 13, then 14. Fine. So 12, 13, 14 will be executed first. थोड़ा important है ये because lot of just classes have been using this flush promises concept. So then 1 and 2 promises are executed. Then so 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 पूरा सब कुछ execute हो गया था 1 2 3 4 5 all the promises like line 1 line first 12 13 14 I'm giving the order of execution 12 13 14 1 2 3 3 में inside 3 very important inside 3 um, like yeah 3 inside 3 में yeah 4 and 5 are also executed. Then yeah so these guys are also executed. Set timeout will be the next thing. So the moral of this whole story is set timeout is the next thing. Then later on set immediate. ये सब by observing the internal implementation of event loop of JavaScript. Now let's get back to this one. Your promise is executing set immediate. There is something called set immediate function. Whatever you write inside it, पूरा event loop खत्म होने के बाद set immediate thing will be executed. Correct? Like the whole event loop in a given JavaScript transaction whole. So this is how you are making sure that set immediate you are returning as a new promise. So you are making sure that none of the promises are left out in the event queue. So that's the reason for naming purpose. Of course, you can give ABC 1 2 3 the name. So they have given here as flush promises. So your unit is flush promises. So then get contact list. So you have created a mock function here. So ये वाला just dot mock of you are mocking this function. अगर इसमें कुछ error और गड़बड़ है तो then default empty mock function. Just dot mock instance. It contains no implementation. Empty function. Fine. So if it is fine, then it is already mocked, and mock function name is same as get contact list. Fine. So now what you are doing is the first test case में mock dot resolved value. So Srikant, you might ask me doubt. Srikant, this mock resolved value कहाँ से आता है? So go to this official framework. Mock function dot resolved value in the sense the output of the function you are deciding here. So okay, I'll try to teach in simpler terms. Hi compiler. I'll try to teach in simpler terms. Hi compiler, by using line number 6 to 14, I have I have mocked this standard function, and the name of my mock function is also same as the standard function. But I'm giving you some instruction that whenever I call this function, the output of this function, the resolve value, because it returns your promise now. So the promise can reject and resolve. So please override the resolved value of this contact list with my own records. Clear? Because when this function resolves, you are getting context. You should not call Apex class because it's a pure unit testing, isolated testing. Now through this line, you are stating that hi mock function. So please override the resolved value with my data, my own data I have given you. Now ये सब match fixing करने के बाद you are inserting your tag into the HTML page. Fine. So your tag you are inserting, and then as usual purposefully you are querying that button tag. I mean button tag in the page. Then you are just calling that click handler. After calling that click handler, all this process, asynchronous things, everything will take some time, right? Then you are using this flush promises. You are making sure that event loop is empty. There is nothing left in it. Why? Because this flush promises is executing something called immediate. पूरा event loop खत्म होने के बाद immediate will be executed, right? So immediate execute हुआ तो yeah. Then if it is resolved, immediate execute हुआ तो yeah, there is nothing left for asynchronous call. Like the page is completely refreshed. then you are querying the paragraph tag, then you are checking key what is the length of all the contacts that were retrieved, then you are checking key name contains name equal to yeah, I mean the name, and yeah, the second one, the details, the second record by first record by, you are just asserting it. Clear? Yes, no? Hello? Hello? I mean, you people are there, right? I understand these are the most advanced concepts. So, I mean, completely relevant to Salesforce, I agree. So, we people got used to Apex class and Visual Force pages. But ये new technology है ना, it is new, not only new for you and me, it is new for everyone in the world. So, okay. Yeah. So, in the similar way, the second test case is for returning an error message. So, the same thing you're doing. Get contact list, mark rejected value. So Apex, you are purposefully you are placing, you are rejecting it. I mean, purposefully you are overriding the error value with your own error. Fine. Now you will ask me a question. Srikant, please help out us. Like how will I get to know that I have to use this keyword mark dot rejected value, mark dot resolved value. कहाँ से आते हैं these keywords? If you want to write our own mock tests, okay, our own test classes, ये keywords कहाँ से आते हैं? So those keywords are available here in this framework. So mock dot rejected value, mock dot resolved value. Fine. So then you'll ask me a question like what is mock function? As I said earlier, mock function is like a duplicate copy of original function, original component. You can replace your own code, you can change its behavior, you can make sure that it is isolated, you can pass your, you can change the actual implementation by erasing the actual implementation, you can do anything. Fine. Clear? So yeah. So yeah, the remaining things are same. You're just adding up, you're creating a HTML component, you're adding it into a page, you're clicking on a button, you're okay, actually on screen you're not clicking. Yeah, programmatically, yeah, we all know like yeah, we are mocking it that like a button is clicked, then yeah, whenever a button is clicked, this method will be executed and it returns as a promise. So we are waiting for some time. So return an immediate flushing promise. Okay, so set immediate was statement was there now after Apex call. Then wait for because what is the reason? Because you are waiting for asynchronous job updates. Just will automatically wait for promise to change to complete. So this is all about. Uh, so this is all about. So this is all about. ये वाला component. Fine. Then yeah, so three other components are there. So let's go here. ये component क्या है? Like what is the Apex static schema? So it's object value using schema definition. Schema definition in the sense they might be using some schema namespace. इसका implementation is exactly the same. No difference. Exactly same as first implementation, but component का difference in the sense the way we are calling the fields is different. Markup is front end markup is different. Different बोले तो sorry. Click here. So instead of writing name field and all, we are calling the schema namespace the API names we are pulling. Okay. not manually hard coding student underscore C. ऐसा. So, but the test class implementation is same. Okay. So then apex wired method with parameter. So this one, yeah. Click here, then click on uh, so if you observe carefully, apex wired method, um, apex wired method. I mean, the first component and third component both are same. Both are same is internal except the such box. It is a direct call at the time of page loading. Okay, I mean, so whenever you give on change and this imperative method call and with parameter. So just we are passing some parameter. So test class maybe you'll be passing some parameter. Apart from that, yeah, remaining things will also be similar. So let's observe the test class first. Click here, click here. Obviously, the front-end test classes are optional, but because there is a technology test framework, because we want to cover up everything, we are touching each and every corner. Fine. Mm, so let's observe it. So these things are quite common. So create element, then you're pulling the component, then you're pulling the mocker. I mean, this guy is used for mocking the find contact function, for creating a duplicate copy of find contact function where you can change everything, where you can change the implementation. So then a function, ये वाला. So this is your mock function of find contact. Okay. Then so then you are calling fake timers. Use fake, just dot fake timers. Is to set the timeout. Use fake timers as timeout is as set timeout is used in the JavaScript file. Okay. So in your so what I'm trying to say is in your component 300 milliseconds of timeout is given by for every keyword you are typing here. For every keyword you are typing here, the minimum gap, I mean, if this inbox, if this input text box is idle for 300 milliseconds, I mean, it will wait for 300 milliseconds, then it will hit the apex class. Correct. So in between these 300 milliseconds, if you type too much fast, like any keyword, again the timer will start from 0 to 300 milliseconds. We are reducing the number of hits on the server by this way. Now what this guy is telling us is, you are using a function called use fake timers. Okay, so you are using a function called use fake timers. So what is the use case of this? You'll get to know. So as of now, we use fake timers, but नीचे ये कोड आने के बाद नीचे you are going to execute synchronously. What I'm trying to say is, whenever you are executing schedulers or whenever you are executing batch apex, so they are basically they are asynchronous, but in the test class execution they will suddenly become synchronous. Correct. In the similar way, the same concept is used here as well. So whenever we are executing schedulers or batch apex or future method or any queuable, any asynchronous apex class, we write unit testing for apex class in such a way that at the time of calling those asynchronous classes in the apex test classes, they will become synchronous. I mean, they are executed synchronously. In the similar way, the same strategy is used in this code as well. Fine. So uh, so here you can see so describe find contact at wire service. Mm, so user input. So I have placed user input as Amy. Let's say I have placed user input as Amy. A M. Okay, AM pay, like there is no contact, I guess. So I have placed user input as A. Then that we are framing some wire parameter. Okay, एक parameter तो देना चाहिए ना. So let me open the markup. You will feel comfortable. So here I have to pass some parameter, correct? So wired service is calling this function, and you are giving these as the function parameters, method parameters. Apex class method है ये वाला. Find contact is apex class method. In the contact controller, we have something called find contact, and then you are passing some input parameter, whatever the key you have typed. So वो key से it will do some SOQL. Select star from contact where name like इससे डाल के वो contact को निकाल के it will dump it into this JavaScript member variable, and that is the behavior, right? So अब the same thing you are doing here. User input is equal to something, placing that user input in a wire parameter, then placing that user input in a wire parameter, then yeah, that's it. You are creating HTML tag based on this Lightning Web component. You are inserting the tag, then you are querying the Lightning input tag inside this component, and वो Lightning input में you programmatically you are passing that MA keyword here, then purposefully programmatically you are dispatching an event called on change, because you have changed the input text box na, you have typed MA here, so some event has to fire, right? Fine. So on change event is fired, then event fire होने के बाद just dot run all timers. अगर कुछ भी delayed actions, अगर कुछ भी timers है तो we are purposefully making sure that they are run it immediately. अब भी run कीजिए, no asynchronous something, you are just converting it to synchronous. Complete the timer, पूरा complete कीजिए. Fine. So run it. So yeah, it is completely run. हाँ, we are not delaying here. I mean, we are forcing it to run all the timers. Fine. So run all fake timers. Now you'll ask me a doubt. So you can ये keywords कहाँ से आते हैं? Why? From where I'm getting these keywords? So from here. Run all timers. So exhaust in the sense purposefully we are pushing everything. Set timeout ये सब है ना, उसको you are converting it to synchronous. Fine. Exhaust micro task queue. कि ये task queue में कुछ भी timeout है, ये next tick है, ये process है. So these guys, next tick, process, timers. So ये centimeter, like these guys are available in the event loop, right? वो सबको whatever delayed actions आते हैं, you are just exhausting them. Fine. So this is often useful for synchronously executing set timeout functions. So when you run all the timers will not be run, but in the sense, it jumps, it moves ahead of time, kind of. So synchronously asserts the behavior, which will happen only after. In general, it will happen only after the timeout. Okay, clear. So that's about this one. So don't get returned by observing all these new concepts. Fine. So don't get returned. Slowly we can learn. No worries at all. In this booklet, you can complete until mock functions. If you want to learn by yourself, you can just complete until mock functions. एक बार mock functions तक देख लीजिए. Then no need of these things. Give a look to expect and just object. ये दोनों को एक बार देख लीजिए. No need to learn a new framework called just. So some 3-4 topics are there. Just observe them. Fine. So yeah, at any point of time, even after completion of training, at any point of time. So maybe after this class, we'll be having 2 classes. अगर कुछ doubt है तो just drop an email. Till now, whatever the emails I got from multiple students, I have responded with the solutions. Fine. So it will be the same in future as well. So don't get worried about it. So yesterday I have interviewed a candidate for our Malaysian branch. So who is 10-year experienced person from currently working in Deloitte Bangalore. So yeah, so he said like I know, like he said, I asked him, have you worked on integration? He said yes, I know full knowledge on integration. I asked a little few questions. He was very good, actually he was good in the common Apex classes, Visual Force Base, and all. He said, I know Lightning Web Component. I got trained by Salesforce directly from Deloitte team. Yes, he just bluffed with me. Then मैंने पूछा कि what are the wire services we have in Lightning Web Components. He was unable to answer. So I mean, actually, I never want to touch about Lightning Web Component, but he himself has stated that I got trained from directly from Salesforce for Lightning Web Components in our Deloitte team. So I'm very much confident in lwc. So he was like he has stated that. So मैंने पूछा कि can you just explain us how pub sub pattern happens in LWC? What are the wired services? I mean, what are the decorators we have in what is imperative call? ऐसे दो तीन क्वेश्चन पूछे तो none of the questions he answered. Right. So, but at least, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, yes, we know all these things completely. We covered. I am promising you that the whole LWC developer guide, except Aura 2 Lightning component, web component conversion, those strategies, it depends on individual project. आपके in-house project में how you implement it, so it depends on your decision at the end of the day. Fine. Except the best practices for converting from Aura to LWC, we covered every single page in LWC developer guide. Yeah, to be frank, we covered more than that. More than that in sense, we covered Jest framework, Node.js, yes, here and all. Fine. So yeah, no worries. I mean, be confident. So whatever we are learning today will give you fruitful results after 5 to 6 months. Fine. Yeah. So let's go ahead. So just dot run all timers. So you're just running. I mean, you're just making sure that timers are pushed flushed quickly. And as usual, the remaining thing is very similar. You're passing a parameter. You are forcefully running the timers. That's it. So then remaining things are same. Get last configuration. So get last configuration in the wired adapter. What is the last parameter? So is it equal to wire parameter? है कि नहीं? Okay. So what is the last configuration of wired function? What is the last config? Yeah. So this is the I saw this is how you are checking. So renders one record. Right. I say ME डाल दिया तो is it rendering the single record or not? So again the same thing. Clear? Yes, no? Okay. So this is all about hmm, wired service with I mean with parameter. So ये एक है. These two things we will discuss now. I mean having discussed some 5 components, बहुत कुछ code देख चुका है हमने. So for a change we will come back to these two components after half an hour. Let's observe the introduction to Dream Invest. Because whole 2 hours I don't want you people to read the code, fine, unless the code is any. So we will come back to this remaining to after half an hour. Let's observe कि ये Dream Invest बोल के एक project है. So overall, Salesforce has released some five projects. LWC recipes, we completely sweep it. Lightning e-bikes LWC, yes, we have covered almost all the components. Some 7 to 10 components are there इसमें इस project में हमने इसे देख चुका है. Now let's observe the introduction to Dream Invest. Right. So how is it going? Just now I created a scratch for this Dream Invest. इसका behavior क्या है? Like एक बार introduction देखेंगे, like how it is working. So this keyword is doing the data upsert using bulk API. Okay, so using bulk API, this keyword using so basically Dream Invest will say it's a trading company. You can say like it's a we can say it's a sample financial services application where you'll be having multiple mutual funds. You can select one of the mutual fund and yeah, you can start investing kind of thing. So market, share market, stock, it is related to that financial services. This project is all about. So एक बार इस project का behavior देखेंगे. It is built on Lightning Web Components. So last week we have seen eBix project, how to build eBix project with LWC. The component का behavior देखेंगे. So how is it going? I think records were inserted. Okay. So next class में we will do our motive is we will do data service and pub sub. Okay, test classes because most importantly yeah pub sub and data service ये दोनों करेंगे and after this class we will be having 2 classes roughly and ये ड्रीम इन्वेस्ट का components भी देखेंगे. So what I'm trying to say is like Apex tab, data service tab, if possible we'll complete it today. Data service tab, if possible we'll complete it today. So next class में we will and introduction to dream invest. Introduction to dream invest. So this is what we are learning today. Dream invest project. Sample project is LWC. I mean yeah LWC. So this is agenda for today. We will try to complete it. And next class में data service में अगर कुछ left out, if something is left out from data service, we'll check data service. Then pub sub, how to write test classes for pub sub. Right. And complete this ड्रीम इन्वेस्ट प्रोजेक्ट ये प्रोजेक्ट को कंप्लीट करेंगे. सो दिस इज द एजेंडा फॉर नेक्स्ट क्लास. लास्ट क्लास में वी विल हैव द रिव्यू. ओके so we will have the review in the sense we will open up lightning web component developer guide. हर एक page we will completely I mean so there are some 300 to 500 pages. We will each page some 10 seconds or 1 minute each page. So we'll complete all the 300 pages. All 300 pages. Each page एक बार we will just have a slide of all the 300 pages. We will invest let's say 1 minute of time in each page. We will discuss ये हमने discuss किया कि नहीं. That way. So last class we'll have a review. The whole LWC developer guide. So if you have any ideas, plans, Srikanth, it would be nice if we can do this way. If you can suggest me. We will modify this plan. You people can suggest me now. Okay. So one small doubt. Are you people getting the recordings updated in the dashboard? Yes, no. In your IntelliPath dashboard. So how you people are practicing? Are you people getting the recordings updated? Updated recordings. Hello? Anyone? Because last okay, I have already spoken to management. They said they'll do it. Last recording was on I think last three lectures. 3 weekend lectures were not uploaded in the dashboard. So plus 2 days. 4 weekend lectures have to be updated. So if you want to revise the concepts now, it will be very tough now. It will be very tough now. Okay. So I'll talk to management. Yeah, they will be updated. Okay. So 4 lectures have to be updated. Okay. So now let's इधर क्या हुआ? Is it done? So how many? 1, 2, yeah, two things are done. Done. So open the org. sfdx force org. Well, sfdx force org. Okay, is it? Just a moment. So I think next release is already on the road. I mean, next release already आ गया है, logo change हो गया है. Correct. So अब hmm, so Dream Invest project we have deployed here. So let's click here. Roughly, not exact code. Roughly, we will discuss. Okay, exact code we'll discuss. Uh, okay, so this project has Fund Explorer, Trader Desktop, Loans, Course, Funds. So these are the main tabs that are included in this project. So basically, you can observe this predictive trust. Okay, it is a code. It is the name of the company, predictive trust. And if I have money, yeah, I can year to date. What is this year to date? Okay, so if I mean, the person who invested in this company, who bought the stocks of the, I mean, I'm guessing like the person who bought the stock of this company from Jan 1st to till today. Year to date in the sense current year, first day to till today. The profit is 3.3%. And the overall past 1 year profit is 1.1%. 2 years profit is 9.96%. In the similar way, 5 years profit is that. Right? In the similar way, multiple companies are there where I can invest it. So here asset class you can see volatile. Volatile in the sense it is uncertain. It is unpredictable. So the last 1 year may the people who invested in this company, who bought the shares of this company, yeah, it is minus 2.2. In the last 1 year, they have lost 2%. If they invest 100, right now they have 98. Their share value is 98. But who invested in this on the Jan 1st, their share value is increased. In the last 365 days, their share value is decreased. So this asset class is volatile. Right? So all these are the multiple companies. So overall, 33 pages are there here. So they might have implemented this pagination concept as well. So they might have implemented a pagination concept as well. So the next thing we can observe here is this is the first tab. Agar if I click here, they might have used navigation mixin, navigation module. Whenever I click here, it redirects me to a custom object called fund underscore underscore c and to that particular record. ये Madison का कंपनी क्या है, इसका रेटिंग क्या है, what is year to date, month to date, 2 year return, 3 year return, इसका asset class क्या है, what is, I mean, what type of investment is it? Is it a bond or commodity or currency, equity, fixed income, multi-asset, or volatility? इसका abbreviation, या stock market में abbreviation भी देते हैं, right? And इसका sector. So what is its sector? What are the multiple? So what is the sector? You can click on this page. All. So yes, all these are the sectors. Right. Basically, it's a trading company. I mean, you can let's say. I mean, the purpose of this Dream Invest company is I'll be having a counter. I'll be having some person who is sitting in the counter. So if someone want to become my customer, I'm a trading agent. Make agent for. Okay. So all this is the database I maintain. Now I'll start a trading company. I'll ask the customers. Ki, yeah, I'll be taking my margin as well. But through Salesforce, yeah, I'm just maintaining the database. Right? Ki, kaha, like where my customers are investing. Like I can maintain the customer database. So ये customer ने इतना amount has invested on this company. Right? इसका growth क्या है, like all those things. Based on that, I'll be paying him. I'll be taking some margin. because this is there, I can release some mobile application to my customers. So I'll ask them to download Salesforce one, and they can check all, yes, or they can check it, and they can, by default they can invest on their own as well, right? So yeah, this is the business they are doing, and ये इस तरह की business के लिए, yeah, this is the application we can use, right? So then trader desktop. Okay, so ad blocker, where is ad blocker? Okay, no ad blocker, right? Okay. So now let's correlate with what we learned. Let's correlate with what we learned. If you choose asset class as bond, ये change हो गया. Like all the people who are bond based records will be shown. Now you have to assume like how this, as a developer, okay, business terms are done. As a developer, you have to think like how this component might have been done. As a developer, you can think like, when this is a lightning card and ये drop down है, on change of this pick list, you are firing an event using c/pub sub module. It is fired through the whole, कहाँ fire कर रहे हैं, current page reference. It is like pub sub pattern, publish subscribe design pattern. You are firing an event. It is fired to the whole current page reference. All the sibling components who are available can hear this event. Yeah, coincidentally, yeah, we have only two sibling components. The outer component is hearing that event, and based on bond, yeah, it is the listener. So in this sibling components connected callback, you might have written some listener. Whenever the page loads, the listener for this sibling component will be registered. So on change, whenever you are changing it, so it listens it just pulls the latest data as per the constraints. Okay. So just remember it forever. Whenever you're having multiple components, अगर इधर कुछ change कर रहे तो उधर कुछ component change हो तो definitely this pops up pattern. Okay, publish subscribe. One component is firing event, other component is subscribing the event. Internally, एक ही lightning card में internally there is a parent, grandparent, child. उन लोगों के बीच में communication में के लिए you have to dispatch an event. Okay. That event will not cross this lightning card. That event will not cross this DOM tree. For sibling component communication, you have to use PubSub. For the component communication, child to parent, parent to child, उन दोनों के बीच में, if parent want to call a child, pass the data as an attribute of HTML tag to its child in the parent markup, in the parent HTML code. If child wanted to talk to the parent, fire an event, catch that event, listen that event in the parent. Right. So that is how parent-child communication happens. Sibling communication happens always through register an event, fire an event, kind of. So in the similar way, ये वाला sliders. So these sliders are usual. Okay. So we have multiple. These are the sliders. Now trade desktop. I'm even giving you the brief idea कि कैसा होगा. So this is the watch list. Yeah, for every millisecond, yeah, this is the share market में ये सब हो रहा है. Yeah. So yeah, whenever ये change हुआ तो yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is the traders desktop. Okay, इस component का क्या हो रहा है? You will observe it, the code. Currently I'm giving the UI explanation of this Dream Invest project. Every moment it is changing. Here, I think you can add watch list as well on your own, so that you can create your own separate watch list. So change क्या हुआ, कब हुआ, what is the highest lowest. Instead of observing it in a table, you can add your own, the symbol of a company, so you can observe it in a separate line. Okay. So then load. So if you are planning to take a loan for investment or something, so principal amount ये है तो ये simple calculator है, principal amount ये है तो yeah, so rate, what is the rate of interest, monthly payment क्या है, monthly payment क्या है, then mortgage calculator, yeah, monthly payment is this one, and if you want to um, in 20 years, okay, if you are in 20 years, so principal amount, if 0th year में principal amount is this, interest कितना हो रहा है, okay, for 20 years by mortgage calculator for 20 years at the rate of 5%, year 0, year 1. So what is the interest you are paying, what is the balance left in the total amount that you are paying, interest how much was deducted, how much balance was there. Okay, mortgage amortization. Okay. So then quote, yeah, as of now we don't have a thing. If you pull one symbol PT2, go to code PT2, hit on get stock, right, nothing is there. So this project was last updated on 2 months ago. Funds बोले तो yeah, we have वो सब पेज रेशन में हमारे पास वो सब कंपनीज है ना, so all those yeah, companies have been shown here. So ये सब म्यूचुअल फंड का, so the funds का companies, then sector. Now your R&D homework, okay, so some kind of research you can do on this Dream Invest and try to observe the code, okay, try to observe the code for this Dream Invest. As of now, yes, I can understand key, yeah, don't get threatened by this, okay, we are trying to learn something which no one knows, and don't get threatened by this. For example, एक बार how to observe it. For example, go to loan, click here, edit page. Mm, you have approximately some 10 components of it. So this project was built by Salesforce in 6 months. Okay, but we are trying to learn it in 2 hours. So definitely, don't worry about it. We are getting an idea key what we learned, how it is useful in real time. That's it. So ये component का नाम क्या है? Mortgage calculator. So now the procedure is, what you need to do is, your homework will be for this week, mortgage calculator को copy करके go to GitHub, pick up Dream Invest, then /main/default, then Lightning Web Component, Control F, Control V, mortgage calculator component को जाके, even just test class was not written by Salesforce for this project yet. Only for lwc they have written. So everyone is in learning stage. Right? So don't worry about it. Now, a mortgage calculator will be a good one for us to start. But simple code है ना, mortgage calculator तो कुछ भी नहीं. So you are giving some. Let's observe key front end code and back end. I mean Apex class. Sorry, JavaScript class. How it was written. So maybe markup में you'll be having 3 input fields. First input field का type will be some number or something. Second wala type will be some drop down, and third wala type will be so 3 input fields will be there. So whenever you are changing the rate of interest 10% for 20 years, ये 200 को pay करने के लिए how much? So observe this code. So you have egg, and you have the second one, and you have the third one. Okay. So you have 3 people. So lightning combo box. Lightning combo box is for having this kind of drop down in the lightning card. Okay. So for having this kind of lightning combo box is the right tag. So name is it just a moment? Select options. Yeah. Correct. So select options where yeah, these are the number of years and years. Mm, it is a required field. Yeah, fine. So it is quite predictable. ऐसा नहीं है कि we are not feeling like it is completely different. Okay, it is quite predictable. Then one behavior that we can guess here is whenever I'm changing this value. So this part is refreshed. In the sense, this part is a trackable variable. Right? Member variable of JavaScript class for which at track annotation was given. Might be given for sure. So monthly payment is there. Then you are getting the dollar symbol, right? A dollar, comma separated, like ones, tens, thousands, is up. So how? Because they are just lightning formatted number. Value is this, format style is currency, and is is this. Right? So monthly payment might be a trackable variable in. So might be a trackable variable. So for the first time when you load the page now, yeah, this is how it look like. So yeah, mortgage utility. Mortgage utility in the sense you are you are you are using some helper class for calculation. ये 200 20 years 6 how much to be paid per monthly divided by 12 वो सब mathematical calculation के लिए you are not messing up the main class. अच्छी तरह से you are calling that mortgage utility, and mortgage utility को you are passing the principal, year and rate. Right? ये सब डाल के then okay, let's observe here कि क्या हो रहा है. These are the default values, and constructor you are calling a constructor.super. Whenever you call a constructor na, there is a thumb rule in Salesforce. Whenever you call a constructor, irrespective of anything, you must place this super keyword here in as per lwc-jest. Okay, so I have read in a few articles. Whenever you call constructor, you have to, because a super class ka all the features have to be, yeah. So you must call this super keyword. Okay. Then so when let's observe the behavior of this calculator very clearly. Put it this way. For the first time when page is loaded, step number one, principal is 200, money is, I mean year is 30, rate is 5. This piece will be code execution lifecycle, very important. This piece will be executed first. Then constructor will be executed next. Then whatever the at API, public API properties will be executed next. Then inside the constructor, you are purposefully calling some other guy, some other method, some other function. So this function is calling some other apex class helper method. Helper method को कुछ पास कर रहा है, principal and rate. ये तीन पास के तो this helper method is returning you some value, monthly payment. वो monthly payment भी आपको आ गया है. So ये constructor पे you have this monthly payment, this dot monthly payment. So then constructor execute होने के, I mean at line number 13 itself, ये monthly payment का value was updated on behalf of this line number 40. This dot monthly payment. So बाहर helper class को कुछ values डाल के it is returning something, you are updating your private method. then ये सब now you have all these values. Then next thing is getter and setter methods. Okay, so after the public properties, okay, so then getter and setter methods, then your markup will be evaluated. So this part is okay. We place a principal and default value is 200. This part is okay. Years is default value is 200, and this part rate is 5. And ये part में just now you freshly got some updated value, right? Value they will put it, and yeah, there is a getter method for year options. ये getter method से you are getting that year options. So label क्या है, value क्या है? Clear. So but yeah, I think that's it. So in the similar way, I expect you people in this span of 1 week, go through this stream invest, install this stream invest, observe the code, observe the lightning components, कि ये क्या है, how it is and all. Of course, we will discuss next week. So I expect, I mean, it will be nice now, you people, if you are completely sync with me. So you people will be giving your inputs as well. Okay. Then, yeah. So that's about एक छोटा सा component को हमें देख लिया है. So these are the components we have in Dream Invest. Okay, so the introduction to Dream Invest is done. Yeah, you can try that on your own. Then, so let's get back to these two just classes. So इसको how to write a code? The same thing. Click on view. Imperative call है ना? You will be calling just.mock ऐसा. So click here. For every imperative call, you have to just.mock. You're telling the just framework like just please mock this class. अगर इसमें कुछ error और कुछ गड़बड़ है तो then prepare or give me an empty class. Okay. So virtual equal to true. You'll ask me about what is virtual equal to true. Virtual equal to true in the sense, if I'm not wrong, don't change any implementation of this class as of now. Give me the same implementation as well. ये कीवर्ड हमें कैसा मिलता है श्रीकांत? How would I get to know that I have to use this virtual equal to true? Okay, so control F, ये okay. Just.mock का कुछ syntax है. It is not available even in this framework. I just read somewhere. इसमें भी here virtual equal to true is there, but इसका meaning was not given, I guess. So control F, control V. So this is the only place in the whole framework they have used. Is it? Control F, control V. Yeah. So this is the only place where they have used. Here you can see just.mock का meaning क्या है? Mock a complete module. ये module का नाम क्या है? So this is our module name. So mock this whole module. And अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हो तो default this value. Virtual equal to true in the sense. Yeah. So warning, importing a module specific. So with the auto mocked version, which is being required, factory and all the other options are options. इसका meaning I have checked it in some article. Okay. I'll let you know. virtual equal to true बोले तो क्या है? Fine. So as far as I remember, उसका link I'll update it in the drive link. As far as what I remember right now, so it means that don't change any implementation. इसका पूरा, of course, in just while mocking, you can write your own manual mock. I mean, you can override the existing implementation. Implementation को change मत करो. Okay, this is what I remember, but yeah, I'll let you know the exact meaning. Okay. Then yeah. So the remaining thing is quite common. Instead of creating a separate JSON file, because इसका sample data is quite simple, quite small है ना. So एक ही टेस्ट क्लास में, उसी टेस्ट क्लास में दे हैव रिटन test file. I mean the sample return data which is supposed to be returned from Apex class. Now in this test suite, we are like, this is quite common for all the test classes. Then ये flash promise का भी fine है. Then let's say if I pass Taylor and user input and find contact, yeah, it is already mocked. It's virtually equal to true. Mock resolved value. So apex contact. So इसका resolved value. If it gives true, you are just telling compiler ki hi runtime engine, JavaScript runtime engine, who is nothing but node. Okay, so just telling the just framework that find contact is already the cloned copy or mocked function of original class. So just resolve, override the, always override. अगर इसका success है तो whenever someone calls this guy, if it is true, instead of pulling the data from Apex, so please put my data, my JSON value. Response is always in JSON, right? वो JSON मैं दे रहा हूँ, उस JSON को assume it as your output and provide my own JSON. The status provide my own JSON if someone asks you. We are just telling, we are instructing this find contact. So your mock resolved value is always this, not something you will be bringing from Apex class. Okay. So create a tag, put the tag into the page, then query the lightning input tag, provide the input. The user input क्या है? You are giving Taylor something. Then dispatch an event on change. Which one we have input? यही है ना? Concepts. Okay. So here. So dispatch an event. Yeah, this one. So give an input, then dispatch an event like change. Fine. So dispatch an event change. You are changing it. Yeah, you are changing it. Some trackable value might be updated there. Fine. Then some variable might be updated there. As per the markup, who is asking us to change it, Srikanth? Maybe whenever you are changing it in this code markup, there might be a function. So just I mean the purpose of the component decides how to write the just class. Okay. There is no clear cut validation or benchmark or truthworthiness. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Okay. As of today. So you can write on as your vision will. Okay. So make sure that like you are testing the components. You are testing कि ये market में ये value render हुआ कि नहीं. Okay. So lightning button, that's you're querying the lightning button, purposefully you are clicking it, I mean programmatically. Then flush promises, you are flushing all the existing promises in the micro task queue. Dot then yeah. इसके बाद you are just checking कि find contact, it's a mock function. Dot mock, yeah, pull the mock call. Then उस calls में first call का first parameter क्या है? Okay, first call का first parameter क्या है? So first call का first parameter is this है कि नहीं? So you are, the purpose of this test suite is to check the user input. User input, whatever user has entered the input, वो ये mock function ले लिया कि नहीं? That is your first test case. Fine. First mock का first parameter क्या है? That is your first test case. Now you'll ask me questions. Srikanth, how do I get to know like mock.call? मुझे कैसे पता चल जाएगा कि ये यूज करना है? See, mock.call. So an array containing the caller argument of the calls that I've made to this mock function. Some particular mock function dot calls. Each item in an array is an argument when you are passing during the call. Okay. So first call, first argument. Okay, first call, second argument. Second call, second argument ऐसा. So mock.call का call का like yeah, this is how it look like. Argument 1, argument 2. Yeah, this way it look like. So yeah, this is the first call. Okay. So first time ऐसा पास हुआ है, second time ऐसा पास हुआ है. That's the reason it's a two-dimensional array. Whenever you play 0 not 0 ना, first call में ये वाला है, ये वाला है. Okay. So yeah. Then so next test case में renders one contact. So whenever you are giving the teller, this is fine. Lightning input, dispatch event, these things are fine. Here testing में yeah, instead of calling that mock function checking ki whether it has taken my parameter or not, my apex parameter or not, whatever I give input. So you are pulling the paragraph tag. उसका length क्या है? Is it giving the only one contact or not? Why you should give one contact, Srikanth? Because you have manipulated the button, na? Whenever you click the button, find contact function will be executed. Find contact function का output is already you have imposed forcibly that output should always contain your own value ना. हमारा own value we already match fixed with the output. I mean the function में. So then later on we are checking कि ये output है कि नहीं, आ रहा है कि नहीं. So only the code that you wrote by your hand is tested here. All LWC components are isolated. It has nothing to do with Salesforce. There is no need for you to log in into Salesforce. Fine. It has nothing to do with Salesforce. Complete isolated pure unit testing. Fine. So this is about Apex imperative method call with parameter. Fine. So now click on view, the last one. Yeah. So whenever you call it, some string number list of items. ये थोड़ा not that important. I mean directly. So you are providing some input values like text, number, and all. You are passing to wire service. You are getting it back, and you are like displaying the message. It's not that important. So let's go to data service. You can give it right yourself. Data service में. Yeah. So let's try to cover up this one. Click on view. So the behavior of this component is you will be giving some account input. If you click on create, account will be created. A नया account का record will be there. So the purpose of this component is provide some name. Let's say ABC company. If you click on create, a new account will be created. Show toast method will be shown, and one ID will also be populated. So इस तरह की component को front end test class how to write, we are going to discuss. This thing is quite common before the start of any mock. I mean any test suite. We are going to clear the whole page with JS DOM. Now if I give this keyword here, so first test case is all about setting lightning input and to call the record create call. द पर्पस ऑफ दिस फर्स्ट टेस्ट केस इज ये रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट को कॉल करने का है एंड so ये input parameter user input parameter to whom you want to call for account and इसका fields is this one okay. So how it is useful Srikanth ये input parameter कैसा useful होगा if you observe the markup of JS you are building this something like this API name object name and fields ये आदमी को build करके you are passing it as a parameter to create record this create record we are going to mock it and we will pass this in our test class also but after mocking this it instead of calling your data service to create the record you are calling your local folder JSON file to return the response वो response I mean have we got correctly or not we are going to test it that's it yeah so this is the input parameter ये user input है you have created a tag you have a body element I mean so sorry you have dumped the tag into the HTML page then you are querying the input tag उसमें कुछ value दे दिया then you have dispatched an event then you have clicked a button so इधर नाम डाल के you have clicked a button so that is what it is done here then ये पूरा resolve होने के बाद you are checking कि create record have been called or not whether ये function call हुआ कि नहीं how would I get to know Srikanth to have been called I mean कहाँ से how do I learn all these things click here go to I said expect right expect and just mocks दोनों expect so all these are the expect to be all the time we used to be but there is a function called have been called or not number of times how much called with what arguments so all these are the test cases I mean system.asset की equal की तरह like what are the things you can test it okay. so have been called or not it will check it if it is called then you are checking like a zeroth like a mock function like dot mock instance you are checking ki whether it is called or not then first call का argument क्या है first call का only argument क्या है कि input element input parameter अगर दो तीन argument है तो place another square braces and first calls first argument first call second argument ऐसा डाल सकते हैं so input parameter है कि नहीं whether it is taking the input parameter or not that is the only test case that you are concerned about in this first test case to set the value to the input field you are checking कि value set हुआ कि नहीं second वाला test case में displays account id display कर रहे हैं कि नहीं everything is almost same until here but here you are checking lightning data id I mean lightning tag है input tag उसका data id बोल के there is one attribute in that input tag उसमें account id है कि नहीं you are just checking कि account id is there or not then sorry I was thinking somewhere so this tag is pulling the out of these two guys id out of these two guys see to query this tag create हो चुका है second test case is about creation इधर id बैठा हुआ कि नहीं you are just testing it so to pull this tag you are using this data id parameter hi markup hi HTML page just give me this tag whose data id equal to account id इस तरह की tag को बाहर निकाल दे you are just telling it that way so query selector element dot shadow dot query selector query this tag whose data attribute is this one then later on उसको एक local variable में डाल रहे उस local variable को you're testing उसमें value क्या है mock created record dot id ये mock created record कहाँ से है? So in your JSON, your locally you are creating a account record. उसका ID इसका ID both same है कि नहीं? You are testing it. Then you will ask me about. You will ask me about Srikant. Okay, Srikant, but this line is responsible. Create record dot mock resolved value. ये line responsible है. Line number 63 is responsible for overriding the standard library. Initially, we are creating a cloning a copy, then overriding the standard library with own our own expected response. Later on, we are putting our component into the markup and checking querying the tag and checking it. Now you will ask me doubt finally. Okay, Srikant, we understood the theme of jest. What is the purpose of jest? क्या है? We ourselves are giving data. We ourselves are testing that ये data आगे के नहीं. Right? हमारा data we are injecting to the library. We are rendering the lightning component to the page. एक tag को query करके again we are testing against with our data. So what we are testing here? We are not actually testing the data here. That's the purpose of just. Just is about testing कि आपका markup is correctly loaded or not. Okay, just is all. It's an isolated testing. Whatever you have written with your hand, ये LWC code, whatever you have written, आपका markup, आपका HTML page, ये correctly is it working fine or not? And this page is working fine or not? In order to give any input, any ingredient, I myself give the ingredient. I myself test that वो ingredient page में दिखा हुआ कि नहीं. Fine. So both the things I will be doing. But the plain container code, is it working or not? So that's the purpose of just basically. Okay. So that's the reason. I mean, yeah, of course, it's good to know the other things as well. But yeah, I'm not much investing time on just. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me anything regarding Salesforce, any doubt, anything. So classic, lightning, Visual Force, Apex, integration, कुछ भी और LWC में any concerns you have, you can ask me now. So we have tried this LWC create record as well. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. How is it going? Like, I mean, how is LWC? Are you people comfortable with it? Yes, no. Were you people able to like understand what we were discussing? Are you people practicing? No? Any inputs from your side? So far, so good. The whole training, almost next to class. Last class will be review. So last class will be completely left for those 300 pages. So next class will be the last class. So अगर आपको कुछ doubts है तो till today anything you can ask me now. Okay then. Okay. So in the meanwhile, your homework can also be try to complete this trial head mail at the level of discussion that we had. If you go to trial head and try to complete this LWC recipe, you will find it dead easy. Okay. As per the level of discussion that we had, ये ट्रायल हेड का LWC ट्रायल मिक्स ये ट्रायल मिक्स को एक बार कंप्लीट कीजिए. Complete this lighting web component. So complete this lighting web component trial mix. Okay. Official trial was there. Just a moment. Officially released by Salesforce. Allies using Lightning web component. Yeah. So your trial you can complete it. Okay. So whatever that are there regarding this Lightning web component, so you can complete it. Yeah. I think this one. Okay, even it is created by some other employee. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me, or else we will wind up for today. Okay. So next class maybe we will discuss the dreaming list. So please complete all the tasks regarding Lightning Web Components. Okay. So and I'll push the management to upload the last 4 lectures in the dashboard. Otherwise, how we people can revise it? Of course, we can understand it. Huh? Of course, we can understand it, but revision के लिए we need, right? Okay then. So have a nice day. Thanks for your time and patience, and bye bye.